Hey guys, what's going on and welcome to a brand new video. We've got another news video for you guys today. There's only one player we actually have to talk about, but before we get into it, make sure you just subscribe to the channel. We have hit 660 subscribers. We're pushing for that 700, trying to get there before the season starts. You know, we got like 2 months, I think, before the season starts. Anyway, with the transfer window almost opening, we got a link to another player today that I've seen. He is a winger. I know winger isn't the main position we're after right now because we have, you know, you got Nonto, you got, oh my god, I almost said Solomon. You got Nonto, you got Ramazani, and you got Dan James. So we got our three wingers, but we of course need that fourth winger. And if Solomon isn't coming back to Leeds United, which for me is kind of looking unlikely because it's kind of died down, like the talk about him. So it kind of makes me feel like he's not going to come back to Leeds United, which means maybe we could sign what is reported here, our best winger since Raphinha. Now, when you see titles like this in transfers talking about players, you've got to be careful because of course, articles are gonna say stuff like the best winger since Raphinha, and Leeds fans are gonna go yes, 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 oh my god, because you know it's a winger who is better than one of the best wingers we've had in a long time, forever, like a long time, like Raphinha, like the guy that's maybe about to win the Ballon d'Or. But yeah, when we go on and talk about that, you got to look at that and be like, okay. But Leeds United should sign Daizen Maeda. So we're going to talk about Maeda today. The Whites should swoop in to sign the Celtic superstar in the upcoming transfer window, because he could be their best winger signing since they bought Raphinha from Rennes back in 2020. Maeda, dubbed an amazing role model by Brendan Rodgers, just ended his 24-25 campaign with the Scottish Giants and enjoyed an unbelievable year on personal level. The 27-year-old sensation scored a staggering 33 goals and provided 12 assists this season in 53 appearances in all competitions for the Hoops for Celtic, which means that Raphinha only outscored him by 1 goal for Barcelona, and he has scored at least 12 more goals than any other Leeds winger has in one season in the last 3 years. But when you say that, you got to remember Scottish League and all that. Not saying a player from the Scottish League can't come over and do well in the Premier League, but it's one of those where you have to say it is the Scottish League, so you can't look at that and be like, well, he's outscored all of our wingers and he must be better, because of course it is the Scottish League where you got Celtic, Rangers, and a couple of like 2 or 3 teams that are like there normally, but it's only really Celtic and Rangers that are ever competing at the top. So you gotta, when you do look at that, you got to be careful. But there is a chance he can come over from the Celtic and come to Leeds and do well. These statistics show that the Celtic star has a potential to be an exceptional addition to the Leeds United squad as a winger, who typically plays on the left flank, with the quality to score and create goals at an incredible rate. Because you look at that, so he's going to mainly play on the left side, which means probably for me he's probably going to be battling. He's probably going to be, I don't know actually, because Nonto. The thing is, Nonto's played on both, but I feel like Nonto and Dan James will be on the right, and then you'll have Ramazani on the left. So I think he'll be battling with Ramazani if he's battling with anyone for the position to start. I mean, Nonto can play on either side, so whoever's performing at the time, if you have to bring in Nonto, he can play on either side. But that makes me feel like Dan James and Nonto are going to be your right wing options, and then Ramazani and whoever we sign, if it is Maeda or if it's anyone else, whoever we sign on the left side will be competing with Ramazani. So yeah, that's another thing. With the quality to score and create goals at an incredible rate, some supporters may question the quality of the Scottish football, which is true. You got to bring that into question, and how it translates to the Premier League, as in the case with the Championship. But Maeda also showcases his quality on the biggest stage of all in the Champions League. In the 24-25 Champions League season, he's had 9 appearances with an XG of 2.8. He's scored 4 goals with a 27% conversion rate, with creating 1 big chance, with no assists. But scoring 4 goals in the Champions League, you know, good. That's good. Like, you look at it and you say, yeah, it's good. As you can see in the table above, as I just read out, he's outperformed his XG to score an impressive 4 goals in 9 Champions League games, which included goals against German giants Bayern München and Borussia Dortmund. This shows that the Japanese ace, who has been described as a machine by coaches, has the quality to make an impact in the final third against some of the biggest teams in Europe. So you look at that and you say, well, he can do it against those type of teams. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not out of possibility that he can actually do it in the Premier League and do it against Premier League opposition. Leeds United could sign the best winger since Raphinha. That's just copying what I said before. But yeah, you got to look at that and say, well, he's done a decent job in the Champions League, scoring 4 goals from next year 2.8. Creating one big chance only, though, that you look at that and you go, okay. But he looks like a decent player. And you talk about what you want to see is players that have played a lot of minutes that are going to be fit and not injured. He joined Celtic in the 21-22 season. And in that season, he played 18 games, playing a total of 1,356 minutes, scoring 7 goals and 5 assists. The season after, he played 41 games with 2,244 minutes with 8 goals and 5 assists, which also came in the Champions League, where he played 6 games in the Champions League for 333 minutes. No goals, no assists, though. The 23-24 season, he played 32 games with 2,347 minutes played, 6 goals and 4 assists. Playing in the Champions League as well, getting 1 assist that season with 285 minutes played and 4 games played. And then this season, he's played 43 games with 3,319 minutes played, 20 goals and 10 assists. We, of course, talked about in the Champions League, he scored 4 goals from 9 games. He played 761 minutes in that. But in the league, in the Scottish League this season, he's been brilliant. 34 games, 2,558 minutes played, 16 goals and 10 assists. So he's had a really good season. As it shows his heat map right here, he plays mainly on the left, always on the left. Like, it's a little bit of dots around the right side, but it's 90% basically all the time on the left. So if he does come to Leeds United, he will be a left winger. There's not really much to talk about. I just thought I'd talk about him and see. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Let me know. Would you sign him up? I don't know how much he'll actually cost us, but it's one of those of like, he looks like a promising player that could do well in the Premier League. I mean, whoever we sign in the Premier League is going to be a risk. Like, there's no player we're going to be like, oh yeah, 100% they're going to do it. So anything we do is going to be a risk. But he looks like a player that could do it in the Premier League. So yeah, I wouldn't mind the signing. And I'm not going to act like I watch the Scottish Premier League, because I don't. I'm not going to act like I watch the Scottish Premiership. Just no, I'm not going to pretend that I know how good he is. But yeah, he looks like a player that could do it in the Premier League. And if we did sign him, it wouldn't be one of those where I'd be angry at it. Because you look at that and they'll be your 4 wingers. What, you'd have Maeda, Ramazani, Nonto, and Dan James. That's a pretty good 4 wingers, to be honest. We just need that extra winger. In my opinion, probably more of a starter. Because I do feel like Ramazani needs competition for that place. Because I know everyone's hyped about Ramazani and what he's done when he's come on and he's barely played any minutes. But there is that thing of, he's barely got any minutes in the Championship. Can he make the step up to the Premier League? I think Ramazani's a quality player and can do that, but he needs some competition as well that's going to keep him on his heels as well in the Premier League. Depending on how we start the season, because I don't know how we're going to start with the wingers. Like, I think Dan James is nailed on. First game of the season, Dan James is nailed on a start. But it's that other side. It's that left side. Does Ramazani get the start? Does Nonto get the start there? Or does a new winger signing get the start like Maeda? Or if Solomon comes back, which I think is kind of unlikely now, but yeah. So let me in the comments down below what you guys think of the signing, as I've already said. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.